afternoon to you. There we go. Good afternoon to everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day here today. Today is January 14th. Look at that. Someone's having a great day. Just got a message. Hey, yes. Another invitation to something. It's all good. This one's from the rabbi, though. It's a pleasant thing. That'd be Sunday. All right. So we've been talking about the whole concept there of intake forms and stuff like that. Work through that, haven't finalized it to make it all pretty and look good, but we got like a lot of questions in there. So we got to bring down those questions. There's this idea of you want to be a good host, so you want to be able to ask the right questions. It actually starts with that intake form, doesn't it? You want to be able to ask what's important for you to know. If there's a little bit of a follow-up with some of the questions, maybe you could verbally ask the questions after you've qualified the guest. And yes, you absolutely need to qualify the guest. If it's not somebody that fits your show, don't do it. If it's not somebody that you just don't really get along with, don't do it. If you're looking to provide information on your show and not just a sales pitch and they're very salesy, don't do it. If you got that gut feeling, intuition that they call it, yes, there is somebody I know that speaks about intuition, how much we really should trust our gut. You absolutely should trust your gut, trust your instinct. This is it. This is you. You're not feeling that warm, fuzzy feeling in advance. Don't do it. Now, I'm not talking about feeling nerves. That's fine. Hey, look, I wound up interviewing people that I was like, really? I'm a little surprised there. Carol Baldwin from the Baldwin Foundation, Carol Baldwin. I interviewed her. It's like, I can't believe I got her on the phone. He'd have to go and do this interview. It was one of the old Blog Talk days that I did that. It was like, wow. Was I nervous? Betcha. Did I show it? I don't think so. I hope I didn't. That wasn't how your guest is going to feel comfortable. Your guest has to know, believe, have the perception that you just got it together. So if you're asking 32 questions on that intake form, or you have a 2-hour conversation prior to them coming on for a 15-minute show, do you really know what the right questions are? No. So go with your gut. Got to really feel comfortable that you are asking, that you are knowing what you're doing. Make sure you're asking the right questions. Make sure you're not asking too many questions. Get the guest excited. And we've gone through all of this over the last couple of days. So on Monday, I do have a guest. I do have a guest coming on. And there's a couple of different ways of promoting that out. The most important thing now to do is to make sure that your guest, because you want to share this in the guests community, you want to make sure that you are giving the guests everything that they need, including the ambition to reach out to their folks. This way they know that he's going to be on, or she is going to be on your show. So I do have a guest for Monday. It is Friday, so I will just fess up right now. This could have been done earlier. Just really didn't get the information until yesterday. Whatever, I got the excuses in there by forgetting that. But give your guest as much time as possible. And there might be some edits that need to take place too. So that takes time. You also don't know if they're busy. I know he's multitasking, as with so many of us. I'm only available until a certain time. So it just has to be done. So I now have, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. I probably have a couple of hour window in order to do this. Then we're sharing it over the weekend. Okay, not great. Then we're on Monday. Now it's recorded afterwards, so we can be shared afterwards. But remember, he's got this event that's coming up on Wednesday that he wants to promote. So it's something that really needs to be done in advance. Now, I do a program every day. Can I promote it every day for the next day? I can. Probably be a little crazy if I did that. So maybe I'll go weekly, and as I've done in the past, guests for the week, which means it all needs to be arranged well in advance of that week to make sure that it is there. So I have done that, and I think you'll be able to see one of the promotions that I've done. So here's what I want to share with you. One, You got to get the guest excited. How do you do that? You ask the right questions on the intake sheet. You call the person back up. Say, oh my gosh, this is great. You're going to be fantastic. Only make that phone call if you know and you believe in your heart that, oh, this is going to be great. And this is going to be fantastic. If you don't feel that way, make up an excuse. Do whatever it is. Tell them something. I don't know. You've got this person you've been looking to interview a long time. They're only available on that Tuesday that you had scheduled. Oh, you feel so bad. Let's reschedule. Reschedule, though. Reschedule. Go figure out how to get a little bit more excited about that thing and reschedule. If it's just something that's not going to work, then just state it out loud. Say, look, I like what you do. I don't like what you do. Whatever. Flat out. Do what it is. One thing you got to hold true to here. One word. One simple, challenging word is integrity. Integrity of yourself, your own integrity has to be clear, has to be stated in there. People have to know that you're for real. Otherwise, why are they going to listen? The show's integrity. If your show has got a specific mission statement, a specific goal, you got to stick with it. If you go outside of it, not good. If you're saying you're sitting there providing information, actionable ideas that people could use, and you don't, and all you're doing is promoting a product or a service someplace without giving any insight as to how somebody could, some helpful, tips or hints or something like that, it's not good. Not good. So you got to stick with that integrity thing. Make sure it's in line. If you don't feel good about the guest, then reschedule, change, tell them no, whatever you got to do that. All right, so now you got the guest, you got everything all lined up. What are you going to do? You'll fill out the form, you get the contact information, you're going to make the phone call. So here's the way it took place with Seth. Contacted Seth. I just contacted him through LinkedIn. I saw what he was doing, thought he'd make for a good guest. So I thought he would make a good guest right off the bat. I'm initiating the phone call. So it would have been really hard for me to initiate the phone call and then say, hey, you're not good. So you best be very careful. If you're going to invite somebody, make sure that you are very comfortable with that person coming on. Make sure you are. So anyhow, so I was comfortable with this. In the past, I've taken many chances having guests on. I thought it was exciting to have guests on that I've never met. Heck, I had guests on that I never even spoke to. There was one guy, one crazy story. Then we'll get over to the rest of the stuff. One crazy story. I see him on LinkedIn. It's like, hey, let's get his name ready. But it was years ago. Saw him on LinkedIn. So I sent him a message. Hey, man, I took a look at your profile, and I wrote it in words, right? Saw your profile. It sounds like you're really exciting what you're doing. You wrote all these books, international bestseller, speaker, traveling. Look, I do this show. It's really focused on more, the motivational speakers, and that kind of thing. I'd love to have you on as guest. I think you'd be great. Love to do it when I tell him it's 12 o'clock on a Thursday that we do this thing, and said fantastic. What does he need? He needed information. I asked him. I didn't really promote it out altogether too much in those days, but I had asked him. I had all his website photos and stuff like that. Didn't really promote out. So I gave him the contact information, told him to call in on that Thursday at 12 o'clock. Okay, so here we go. Now it was Blog Talk Radio. This was live. I went live at 12 o'clock. He's not there. I'm talking. I'm doing my intro at 12:02, 12:03, 12:05. He's not there. And I'm thinking, wow, what are we doing now? I've already introduced the guy, let alone whatever I wrote about it, but I already introduced. I was committed to having him on. I did not want to give up, right? That never give up thing. Afternoon to you. I never give up thing. So I stayed with it, stayed with the topic, and then he called in. My first vocal conversation with this guy was when he called in. So I'm in the intro. I clicked the button over there to let him on. This way he could hear what's going on. I started to reintroduce him. This way he knew that he was live. And then we went from there. Whoa. That was an exciting moment because I didn't know if he was going to really show or not. And I never spoke to them about any of the rest of the stuff that you should be speaking to your guests on with that intake form. In other words, what message do you want to deliver and what's important for you to talk about at this time? Those three talking points. Three talking points and a mission, a message, and you're good. That should cover you for a 15-minute show, even a half an hour. It, it, if you're talking and you're having a conversation, if you're just going to flat out ask questions, well, that's going to take 10 minutes to go through that thing, maybe a little bit longer, depending upon the person, that kind of stuff. So be prepared to have that conversation, know something else that's going on there. That was exciting. That could have been an outright disaster. Had another situation where somebody did not show. I introduced the guest, he didn't show, and it was about a nonprofit, and I just spoke about the nonprofit for the 30 minutes. I was determined to keep that program going. I was going through their website. I was talking about their website. I was actually reading, trying not to sound like I was reading. It was only audio. There was no visual. Trying not to sound like I was reading, and then telling some stories about what I did know about the company, about the nonprofit, yet I really didn't know much of anything there. What a learning experience. Doug, afternoon to you. Great learning experience. Let me tell you, if you could avoid that learning experience, by all means do that. Do the form, do the rest of that. All right, so let us get to here. We're going to do a screen share. So I want to show you what I have used in the past as a way of creating documents. There we go. Canva. 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 Well, you could pay for a lot of things. This program that I got set up over here, it is free. The premium one allows you to do a little bit more. Let me just poke over here. Let's just get rid of me on that one. This way it's as big as it can be. And there we go. I'm going to go back to Canva. So this is me. This is all my prior designs. I can see they're not exactly totally professional here, but we did it. And that was Tomato Talk. That's the current one. Remember, I mentioned about the logo. So if I wanted to use just the tomato as logo, I got that. If I wanted to use a bigger banner, I got the rest of this stuff in there. This you'll see wherever I go. That is me standing on top of Mount Washington. Some of the little logos in there might change a little bit, but that picture you will see. So that becomes the brand. That becomes what is constant. So let's go back again. But that was pretty easy to make for this. This was another flyer that I had made. Again, pretty simple. Because what you can do is you could download the files for the logos over here. The racetrack, not street, and this is LA News Radio. So you could download all of those things. You could add music to it. You could do a whole lot of things. The music you could add to it, some of it's free, some of it's not. So Life is for Dreaming is pro, so you're paying for it. I think the advertising over here is a free one. One of these free ones is the one that I use. I think it might be this ukulele song. We're looking at that. So point is that if you need to make a flyer and you've never done it before, Canva is simple and easy to use. I'll use the word intuitive. It's intuitive. I mean, I did this without asking for help. There's a little bit of, trial and error on that one, but you can do it and you can change things up a bit as you go through. And then they got all these other things in here, which I have not done. So that is air, and it's pretty easy to continue to change. Looking for a few of the older, all your folders, all your designs. No. All right. So these were the ones that I have used over here. Tons of templates, all the rest of that kind of stuff. So that is there. Let's get rid of that. Let's come back over here to StreamYard. Yes, I am still there. So that's one thing. And there's a multitude of programs. So I'm just telling you about the ones that I did use. So that would be Canva. Let me flip over here, share screen again. And now we're going to go to what I am currently using. And this is Social Post Buddy. Let's see if I could find this. That might be on the new tab. No. Ooh. And we gotta find it. And we're not able to pick that one up yet. All right, so let's go back over here while we get that going. Now let's go take a look. Let's see if I can put this together right now. Social Post Buddy. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Share screen over to it. Oh, I see what's going on. I can't do that. It closes when I click on it. So we shall see about how we could do that a little bit differently. Windows, scan to upload. That's me. That's not it. Nope. Cancel that. Okay, there we go. Another learning moment, my friend. So Social Post Buddy is what I use on this one. So, and I've explained it out in the past. I spoke to James Martinez. He's the one that's behind that one, All Things Digital. That's another one of these things about advancing through different obstacles that he faced. Time, as an entrepreneur, time is always the obstacle of the day, all the time. So he was looking for a way to do these social posts in a more time efficient manner. And that's where Social Post Buddy came in. So you put the data in, and then you're able to make it makes most of the formatting changes for you. So you could just click away and put it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and a multitude of other places. So it's really great to use. I'm hoping to have him on as a guest soon. This way we could discuss that one. All right, so let's go here and I'm going to go back to this page then, and let's get to what our guest shared for us here. Share that. Okay, so you're looking at my screen here. And this is Seth. Seth is going to be our guest for next week. So I asked him to send me some information, upon which he did. Let me just make sure that's sharing. It is. So that's good. Let's go back here. And just kind of move that over there. All right. So here is what he sent to me. He sent to me his one sheet, which is here. All right. And the one sheet is, well, that didn't open. Oh, there it is. There we go. So he sent to me his photo, which is Sherpa Seth Speaks. So that's one item that is there. See all photos. Let me see if the rest of them came up. Nope. Let's go back here. That's one. Is the another photo that he used? Obviously, there's got to be a better way of doing this thing when it comes to sharing this stuff. But he did send to me, this I definitely want to bring up. He sent to me 3 different download, open. Try this one more time. Gotta love when this happens, huh? Oh, he's sharing to StreamYard. That's why it's such a challenge. But you can see in here, he sent a couple of photos to me. So he sent me 4 photos. We'll just stay with that one. Sometimes this is smoother than other times. This is turning out not to be one. So maybe I'll figure out a way to do all these different screen shares in there and maybe set it up in advance this way we can see what's going on. But anyhow, I had a conversation with him. So Seth does some speaking. He does these webinars, which is what he's looking to promote. And he also sent me a couple of photos, which I asked him to send me a few photos. He's got 3 photos where just him, no logo, no nothing. He's got the other one with the Sherpa Seth. Right? You just ask yourself a question here. What does Sherpa mean? Now, if you know I enjoy climbing, know the word Sherpa, from the videos and some of the friends of mine that have been up to Mount Everest. They use Sherpas. These are folks that live there and they help the other climbers go up the mountain successfully, hopefully successfully. There's a story and a half on that one. But that's where the Sherpa came from. So it generated a question in my mind. What is Sherpa Smith? What was Sherpa Seth? What does that mean? Well, if it's asking a question or if it's generating a question in your mind, that means it's getting your attention. There it goes. That will be the photo that I use. The other thing that he sent to me was his speaker sheet, his one sheet. What a one sheet is a resume for speakers. It's one sheet of paper. It's not 14 pieces of paper. It's one sheet. Give it to me brief and succinct. Right. That's a true indicator of a good speaker, too. Somebody who gets it, understands. If you've got 20 minutes to speak, that means you got 20 minutes to speak. You want to finish in 19? Go right ahead. You want to finish in 22? Not good. If you got 20 minutes, you got 20 minutes. It's one of the things that, again, practicing over here. Want to make sure we're here 30 minutes. But anyways, he sent to me his speaker one sheet. So on that is going to give me a brief bio of him. That's something I could use to promote the actual podcast he's going to do with me. It also shows me what photos he's got on there that he might like. But I asked him, I was like, do you have a preference over it? He's like, no, anyone you want. I sent them to you. Do whatever you like. There's the Sherpa. Then I also have the speaking topics. Now, I know his seminar is called Improv to Improve. But if we just talk about you have a seminar on Wednesday nights that people can attend and who it's appropriate for, that's a sales pitch, right? Not going to do that. We will certainly promote it. That's all good. But he's involved with a few other things that I have now learned from his LinkedIn profile, his Facebook profile, and also his website, and also his speaker sheet. So that's important. Hey, why don't we go Seth. Let's see if we could find this. There it is, Warrior Secrets. I could probably do that. So I could pick up from there. Yeah, let's go over there. Let's do that. Let's go back to StreamYard. Now I got 17 different pages opened. Stop. Screen share. Let's go for a new share screen. Share screen. What do we got? 23 minutes. We're good. And there we go. Bam. Okay, so this will pull some of it up. So looking at this sheet over here, right? What catches your attention? All right, here's the photo I was talking to you about. That is the Sherpa. There we go. That's the photo I'm going to use. That photo, what does it tell you? Nice guy. Got a small beard. This one, got an interesting hat in there. So the Sherpa Seth, that is going to be that's going to be the photo that we use in there. Definitely going to use the word Sherpa. That will grab the attention of a few people. All right. That's an awful lot of information to use on a short thing, but we can use a piece of it. So I probably will use that. Seth, communication coach for technical professionals and creative leaders. Good. A degree in mechanical engineering. Not terribly important over here. Author of 3 books. That one probably is. This is an interesting one. An engineer's formula for public speaking excellence. So if you're an engineer, you're probably not big time on the stage. You're working with the blueprints and stuff like that. So public speaking might not be your thing over there, but I can give you a story, and I will on Monday, about you just never know where that might come up. So maybe I'll pull a few things out of here. I'll see what he had sent me also. You got the photo that's here, and then this is the program that he is workshop. the workshop that he is doing. There we go. Pitch perfect. Nice. Oh, he also is part of Toastmasters. So I'll mention that in there too. Toastmasters District 46. I was a member of District 46. We grew, split apart. So that's why I'm no longer at part of that group. But there I am. That was it. And I'm gonna make sure I get a proper link over here to the program that he is doing, launching February. All right, that one we got to find out about because I thought he mentioned it was Wednesday. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but we will need to clarify that. So that's it. So you're going to pick out of here some of the things that are there. What I'll have as a conversation is to, well, like this one, Migo to Wego. What exactly is that? Oh, that was the Toastmasters District 46. So he's got Toastmasters a lot on the website over here. So certainly is something that I could bring up. Becoming a member on this, that's another question that might be there. This community of bold explorers, all these things are possible questions. Do you have to tell him in advance you're going to be asking about this? No, you certainly don't. It just has to fit in with what he's doing right now. So let's go with Toastmasters. Will I ask him what he's doing inside of Toastmasters today? No, he certainly might volunteer that, but that may not be. We'll get back over here. He may volunteer what his current efforts are with inside of Toastmasters. I hope he does. I know I do quite frequently too. Still very involved with the organization, but that's not why he's on. So a good question there is, okay, Seth, I mean, you've been involved with Toastmasters for a while. I've seen you accomplished a lot. That's what the DTM is, Distinguished Toastmaster. What have you learned there that you're applying to, or have you learned anything from there? Really leave it wide open. Have you learned anything from your Toastmaster experience that you apply to outside of Toastmasters or real life? And is that impacting the way you approach your seminars? Away he goes on that one. So what we're doing is we're bringing in the Toastmaster crowd on that one. Nice little plug for Toastmasters. Do that whenever I possibly can. The idea of the program inside Toastmasters too, the New Pathways program, that is something that can be applied in real life. That's the whole purpose of it. As a matter of fact, I'm starting a new path right now about coaching and leadership to see how Toastmasters trains on that. Been involved in that arena for quite a while, but always willing and interested in hearing somebody else's opinion, especially one that's coming from a large organization standpoint coming down, right? Most of the folks that I confer with tend to be small business owners or just flat out entrepreneurs. So anyhow, so from that, able to bring up Toastmasters, promote the program, promote his involvement over there, also establish his credibility as a speaker because he's accomplished a lot inside of Toastmasters, and then introduce the idea of the seminar with one question. And where you take that question or where we go with that question depends upon his response, but we'll go over there. So that's where it really makes sense for you to do some research too. All right, make up this flyer that he could use in order to promote. I'm going to work on that as soon as we get done over here. Find out what's on his website, what's on his social media posts that he talks about all the time. All the time. That is what is going to get him, your guest, excited because they're already talking about that. And you know it's something safe to talk about because they do it already. Make it work that way. And it should fit in with your audience. It goes back to that warm, fuzzy feeling you got. If he's doing something, look, if he's just talking about being a good engineer and how to read blueprints and stuff like that, all well and good. We need those people. It's a move forward. Not exactly what we're talking about over here, unless there's some sort of a story behind it. If there isn't, well, you don't get the warm and fuzzy. This one, dope. Love the fact that people inside of a profession that's generally go alone kind of thing, or you're really working with intricate programs, things like that. The accountants, engineers, stuff like that. You know, Are they the best public speakers? Probably not, because it's their intelligence in that field that really got them to where they are. But they need to be able to explain it out. How many doctors have you met? Oh, the guy's brilliant. The woman's brilliant. It's the best doctor. She's absolutely fantastic. Why? Is it because she's the most brilliant surgeon? You're asleep. How do you know? Is it because she knows the diagnosis on everything? Perhaps. Hey, look, if you're not feeling good, it's certainly there. Is it because that doctor explains some complicated something to you in a language you can understand? Yeah, that is bedside manner. That is super important. Kathy Jones in California. Kathy, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. But I'm at 31 minutes. I'm trying to stay true to time over here. So you got to come back on Monday. We're going to be talking to Seth Greenwald. Seth is going to be talking about engineers who could speak. Hey, I'm sure there's something we can all gather from that, especially if you're in one of those industries where communication skills is not really the thing. Your intelligence is. But how do you explain intelligently what it is you do to somebody who really doesn't get what you do? That may just help your sales skills in a huge way because they now see that you're intelligent, but now they're going to understand your intelligence also. Remember, friends, speak well, speak often, and live inspired.